Peace. Peace, peace, peace. When you're really doing something different, mind blowing, they're gonna outcast you. They're gonna outcast you. People will continuously, in subtle ways, never directly to your face, let you know they want absolutely nothing to do with you. You will never be able to sweep it under the rug. Whatever you did, how it feel, is gonna be that way for the rest of your life. Just it is what it is. Just it is what it is. Do you make yourself feel bad about it? Do you try to retaliate? No, you don't. Because there's no point. Every experience you are currently going through, we believe we have maximum control of our lives and things that are happening to us. We all know that's not 100% true. It's true that you can control your temper, you can control who you hang around with, you can control how you feel when a certain situation comes up, but you cannot stop certain situations from happening. Everybody loves to say, what if this happened, what if that happened? I wish I can go back, X, Y, Z, all of these things. You can't go back, and you can't undo what has already been done. We don't have full control over our own lives. Buddhist monks, masters who practice Tai Chi, Qigong, have to spend minimum of a decade plus to master the ability to control their breathing, control their thoughts. And even then, all they can do is ignore their thoughts. They don't fully know how to stop themselves from thinking. You will never have full control over what you think, or how somebody else will think about you. So stop acting as if you will. What you can control is when a certain event does happen, how will you react to it? How will you let it affect you in the long term? Everything that's happening to you right now was already written to happen. As above, so below. On earth as it is in heaven, everything that is happening to you currently was already written and is currently going on. Everything from the way you act, what you believe, how you view life, the people in your life, every cut, scrape, sickness you've gotten, all of it has been written to happen. We are not fully of this experience. We come into this life to have an experience. We did not make the experience. As far as you're concerned, you did not choose to be born under the parents you were born under. As far as you're concerned, you did not choose to grow to the height that you grew to have the skin color that you do to. You came into the world with these things. You did not invent your experience. It was invented for you, and you are now living it and having it. When you come to a higher understanding of the world around you, in the spirit around you, in the spirit that is you, things should not pain you as they once did. Certain situations that seem unfair to you and unfair to life should not seem as unfair anymore. We will live in a world where everybody has a preference. Everybody believes that the way they view the world, the way that they view life should be the one and only way life should work. People have to come to realize this universe is, it's not a matter of fully good or bad. Again, you don't have control over when the good or the bad happens. It's how you quote unquote handle it when it does happen. So all of this, everything that happens is an experience. Is an experience. You were put here to have certain things, and we were put here to not have others. Certain attributes that other people may have that come easy to them will not come easy to you, no matter how hard you try. Most people, 90% of people, go around their lives with a limited amount of knowledge and understanding of the world, and that is enough for them to get by, because again, you cannot be here any longer or any shorter than you're supposed to be. Your time that has been allotted to you here in this lifetime will be your time frame. You cannot train yourself to live longer than you're supposed to, and you cannot somehow fall short out of your life. It has all been predetermined. And it's all happening currently at the same time across all of existence. Even you clicking on this video right now, there was a motion that could be tracked, a transit in the sky that would even allow me to predict, to even tell you why you're here right now, why you're listening to this. Can I say I know 100% of a fact of a reason why we decided to have an experience in the first place? I cannot say that. Nor can anyone prove that to you, no matter what they believe in. But we can say without a shadow of a doubt that since we are in said experience, we do go through things that we wish we could explain or we wish we didn't have to. Emotions, anger, happiness, sadness, joy, pleasure, pain, loss, all things that define an experience. People do not know what comes after, but they spend all day of their lives wondering. Stay here, stay now. Stay here, stay now. Majority of people will follow a certain predisposition that has been allotted to them in this life and will only see certain things. Not everybody you meet is going to be your friend. Not everybody you meet is going to be close to you. Not everybody you want to see will truly want to see you back. But at the same time, there will be those that you meet that will never let you go. There are those that you will meet that will always have your back. There's those that you will meet that will have you no matter what happens. We love to cherish those moments and tell ourselves every day, I want more of that, I want more of that moment, I want more of that time. But every time something bad happens, we don't want bad times, we don't want bad experiences, we don't even want to acknowledge the negative. Everything has to be positive. You wouldn't have grown to love the people around you if you didn't know you could lose them. You would not come to value the work that you could put in if you didn't go through experience where you realize your work was subpar at one point. There's a balance, there's a opposition. You can't have light without dark, you cannot have darkness without light. When certain people talk astrologically about a matter, it falls on deaf ears for most people. Because most people don't like to think about their existence in those terms. Because again, it's not for everyone. And matter of fact, you had to have a certain placement, certain alignment that the Creator put you in this lifetime to have to even be able to think at this level. And those people who shun you, do you wrong, avoid you, it's all out of fear. It's fear. People fear what they do not understand. But what do people also say? Toughen up, get through it, get over it. Face your fears, all of that. It's not easy. Not everybody gonna understand you. Everybody keep moving forward the same way, same rate. You got as much time as you were given. Use it. Act on it. If you gonna sit here and let the fear take you, it will not go well for you in the end. Anything operating out of fear is not a good place to operate. But there's only a certain level of fear, certain level of things people are willing to understand or come to know. Other things they're gonna have to just throw in the towel. You can't learn everything, you can't know everything in one lifetime. Some people come here for relationships, other people come here for success. Some people are people oriented, some people are introverts. You will literally come here in this lifetime and like certain people and be destined to hate others. Literally. Literally. And if you're a person who thinks like this, you can never not think like this. This is just how you think. And if you're a person who cannot see life this way or understand life this way, you're not going to understand life this way. There's no problem either way. So therefore, if somebody treats you a way you don't like, it is what it is. It is what it is. What you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It is what it is. Society, culture, what we believe to be right, what we believe to be wrong. All of that. All give an indication too. All of that give an indication too. Politics, your beliefs, your stances on what's right, what's wrong. Doesn't matter if you stop fighting for it or you stop believing it tomorrow. People will always believe in those things. People will always fight for this side is right, that side is wrong. These people are good, these people are bad. This is the problem, this is not the problem. That is the way society works. And again, all of it given indication to already. So for the few of you who actually want to understand why, well, why? And what do I do with this? It gives you less problems. In general, the more problems you're willing to take on, the less problems you'll have, period. The more shortcuts and easy routes you're going to take, the more problems you will have overall in your life. That's just a fact. Polarity. Easy now, hard later. Hard now, easy later. But as humans, we don't know every single last detail of what's going to happen in our own lives, let alone in somebody else's life. It's only in hindsight can we really say 100%, yep, that person was destined to do it. You know why? Because when you die, you're dead. There is no tomorrow, there is no next week, there is no he can change his mind. You're dead. You're gone. You're back to where you came from. So it's only after that moment has passed for you can we truly say, was that person really destined to be a murderer? Was that person really destined to be a great athlete if they died early? Could that person have really been a great father, mother? If they had lived longer, everybody loved this word if. I think, I believe. That's great while you're still alive. After a person is gone and you still want to write their story for them, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't make up something new after they're already gone. They did what they did and you saw what they did. And if you go back to track what was happening when they did the certain action, good or bad, they killed someone or they saved the entire school bus of children, whichever one. During the moment, depending on how much or how well you know that person, you could tell in advance if they were going to do something good or bad. Even if you don't know how to track God's work, how the FBI agents, detectives go about doing whatever they do. You gather information, you learn about said individual, you learn about said topic, and then you make an estimation. I'm pretty sure they're going to do X, Y, or Z. You collect data, right? So when I talk about it like that, it makes sense. But if for any reason you're trying to say, uh, you're going to either commit an act of violence on this day or you're going to do an act of sports activity on this day, people don't want to hear you. People just thinking you're crazy. People just think, I don't want to think in those terms. Again, it's not for everybody. Not for everybody. But the even bigger, deeper question I'm trying to get y'all to understand is, first things first, only in hindsight will we ever truly know if a person was, or how a person was supposed to be. Only in hindsight will you truly know. Second thing is, if that person ended up committing a murder, for example, or somebody in society you would deem a bad person for whatever reason, murder, they're not uh, in agreement with societal standards, whatever the case may be. Did you know? And if you truly have been listening to what I've been telling you this entire live, they were destined to do that. They were destined to do that bad thing. If it's truly bad, that's why I'm like, I don't really even consider or take to the idea of anybody saying this is a good action, this is a bad action. I don't subscribe to moral debates or beliefs anymore. I don't, because they're just not true. They're not accurate. You can't tell during the moment 100% if that person is going to commit the bad action. But when they leave this earth and you see that they committed that bad action, then you know for a fact. Then you know for a fact they were destined to do so. But nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to admit to that. Nobody wants to admit to that. That in any shape or form, your creator could have put you on the earth to do a bad action that you can clearly see and track. And the same thing goes for a person who's a good person, somebody who, quote unquote, you can tell was destined from a child to do big things, destined to be a politician, you could say, or from their little child they were always in the speaking, they were always into sports, they were always into X, Y, and Z. They become the next greatest hero in society and all of that. And when they finally leave the earth, they leave a legend. Everybody loved them, everybody X, Y, and Z. We love to say that person was in control of their life. That person really chose to be that way. And yet again, after they go and they die, nobody wants to contribute to the fact that you will see. You can literally see. They were destined to do so. When they did X, Y, and Z good things, these aspects were aligned in the sky and in their birth chart. God put people on this planet to be quote unquote heroes, and God put people on this planet to be quote unquote murderers. There is no good, there is no bad. It is. It is. It just is. You could be the kindest, sweetest person in the world, and 90% of the entire population will like you. There will be, and there is for a fact, a 10% of people who will never meet you or know you in real life, but just at the thought of hearing what you did, how you act, how you speak, whatever the case may be, will not like you. Literally. Because you were destined, it was aligned that you would not like that person's disposition, no matter what they did. Or a person could have done a heinous act. You will still find a way to defend that person. You will still find a way to defend that person. Because it was destined and written in your chart, you're going to like their disposition. everything you can think of. Every good action, every bad action, every controversial action, every serious action, every just minute detail of your life. From cutting your nails to having to drive somebody to the hospital. You can see it all. You can see it all. You can see it all. You gotta know where to look and you gotta know how to look, period. Some things will be easier to see than others. Some things will take a tedious amount of time to find out. But at the end of the day, this is how we are allowed to have an experience. This is how we're allowed to be humans in the first place. You can't have an experience, you cannot have life if there isn't a bad, if there isn't a good. And it does not matter what you prefer. And it does not matter if you and all your friends would prefer the same thing to happen. You are not in control of this experience. You did not make your physical body. You did not make the human race. You did not make the world around you. All of it was here before you. Somebody made it. You're now in it. They run the show. They allotted you a certain amount of time. When your time is up, you go back to where you came from. Or you go on to the next. That's it. That's it. That's it. You don't gotta be a Buddhist monk. You don't gotta be a savage that's seen the entire world, been to 300 different countries. You don't gotta do none of that. You don't gotta do none of that. And if you're going to do that, you're going to do that, but it doesn't change a damn thing. It doesn't change a damn thing. You're not in control. You're not. Learn to enjoy and appreciate the experience that you have. And I say it would benefit you to know when certain good times are coming and when certain bad times are coming, rather than walking into your life blind and just figuring it out. It will make your life 1,000 times better. And above all, it's just going to give you appreciation more for the life that you're living. It's going to open your mind more to the life that you're living. If you were even brought into this lifetime to even have that ability. Because this ain't going to reach everyone. This is not going to reach everyone. But for the few that this does reach, for the few that it comes to understand, here's what I can see. Here's what I can see during the future. More and more people are going to get accustomed to this idea. More and more people are going to be accustomed to this fact. We will see a major shift in how people believe and what people will be coming into foresight and knowledge of. All systems belief are going to go. I'm sorry. It's that time again. We make a cultural shift, or we make an economic shift, or we make a mental shift in the culture, a belief shift. We're going more into an age of we know now versus we believe this and this is what we've always believed. We're not doing that no more. Will there always be people who believe? Of course. Of course. If it so happens to be that you're a person who is big into belief and you come into a child or a children that are knowledgeable, it was meant to happen. Or the opposite, you're a person who's very knowledgeable and you have a child that you have a lot of belief, that has a lot of belief, and you end up having problems with said child. All of that can be seen. All of that was meant to happen. Whether you like to believe it or not. And when you do come to know what is truly going on in this world, when you do come to know what's truly going on in your own life, you come to realize you have a little bit more control than you think you do. And when you realize and you can see a certain opportunities coming to your way, you can now focus more on something. You can now reach out, stretch out your hand for something that you couldn't once do before, or you couldn't pinpoint on. You have a career. You want to know when the exact day to make the next big move and be guaranteed by the creator for it to succeed. You can do that. You can know that. You want to know a day when no matter what you do, it's not going to go your way. You should take a break. You should chill so you don't run into extra problems. You can do that. You can actively bring more benefit and take away more harm and dis-ease from the life you're currently living. What did I tell you at the end of the day? Even though you can see the events that are going to happen, you will never 100% know until hindsight 2020. And when I mean hindsight, after you're gone. And at that point, it wouldn't be you reading your chart. It wouldn't be you talking about yourself. It'd be people around you who knew you. Talking about this is what he did, this is what he accomplished, this is what she got to know, this is what she did, this is what she knew. All of that. You will never truly 100% know, but we know enough. We know enough that we can look into our own lives, know how we are as people, and know that knowing who I am as a person, yeah, this is going to happen. Without a doubt, this is going to happen. Knowing how the society is around me, and just been paying attention to what I've been regularly been paying attention to all my life, yeah, I know even better now. This wouldn't happen for a fact. No more guesswork. No more useless guesswork. You just know. You just know. Did XYZ person do this to me? You just know now. For a fact, you got an indicator from the universe itself. You got an indicator from God. Yes, this person did what they did to you. No, you were misled. You were delusional. This person didn't do what you think they did to them. You can know if the relationship is worth saving or not. Everything you once thought was just impossible or just, that's just how life goes. No. Not at all. Not at all. Do I understand why people would want to continue to live a life just filled with whatever happens next, just happen next? That is a dangerous way to live. That is a dangerous way to live. That's just a dangerous way to live. That's a sloppy way to live at that. Sloppy. If you know you have the ability to, and you choose to just be lazy, if you choose to just be ignorant, that's a problem on your part. And that's not going to do you well. Don't need to bring up anything mathematical, anything observational. That's just how life works. We all know that. You choose to ignore your work, bad things won't happen to you. You choose to be lazy when you come to know something, come to learn something, that's gonna come back to bite you at some point. Karma is real. Action and reaction is real. That's just a fact. I didn't make it. I didn't make this. I didn't make it. Neither did you. Having existential questions, existential dread. Nuh-uh, no. No. But we're not all perfect, right? Some things you have to spend your life coming to the conclusion of because you were destined to do so. Some people have to work on their temper their entire life. Somebody has to work on being calm, being respectful, not letting their emotions get to them. Other people need to work on being responsible, taking care of their business. These are not things you're just going to solve overnight because you now know. They're not going to happen overnight because you now know. It lets you see. Astrology, the study of yourself in the world around you, lets you see what's coming up. And if you can see what's coming up and you can see what happened before, you can now move different. You can now better handle what's going to happen to you. The severity of the problem just went down. Or your ability to do harm will go up. But there is a sense of order to this world. There is a sense of order. People who are greedy, people who buy into their greed, they may get one or two things off that are wrong, but over the long term, they're not going to be disciplined. People who are overly greedy don't tend to be disciplined. Don't tend to be disciplined. They can't maintain what they do, or they face their consequences, and then they come to realize, yeah, can't do this anymore. Coming to understand God, coming to understand the world around you, coming to understand the universe, whatever you want to call it, actively just makes you a better person. If you take it seriously, actively just makes you a better person. Actively just makes your life better. Actively gives you more power. Just does. Just does. I'm not going to be giving readings or anything really anytime soon. I'm nowhere near ready or prepared to do what I want to do at the level that I want to do it. And it isn't time yet anyways. It's not time yet anyways. It's just not time. I know when it's time. It's not time yet. But when it's time, not a damn thing anybody can do about it. And when you move a certain way again, and when you come to have a higher understanding of yourself, and you just don't care. and you're just willing to actually fight for what you know to be true. Again, not everybody can do this. Not everybody's meant to do this. Not everybody will see it this way. Majority of people will never see it this way. But for the few of you who do, for the few of you who do, who actually do, you need to understand. You need to understand. For you to gain what you truly are destined to gain, this has to happen. Polarity. You cannot have everything in your life or the way that you want. And if you're really trying to do something that will define not only yourself, but the culture around you, that will really shift the culture around you based on your decisions, based on your actions, the culture around you is going to have to push away from you. The current culture, the current way people believe is going to force them to disconnect from you. You cannot have the culture that is currently prevailing across the world like you, agree with you, and at the same time allow you to just walk in and just change it on them. People don't like change. People don't like change at all. That's 90% of the world. People don't like to change. People like things exactly the way they are. And if it were up to them, if it were up to me, people wouldn't change. People wouldn't die if it wasn't up to me. If it were up to me, if I was truly in control of this, I'm not. If it were up to me, I wouldn't even think the way that I do. I'd be just like everybody else if it was truly up to me. Or if it was truly up to me, everybody in the world would think like me. It doesn't matter what my preference should be. It doesn't matter what the society around them's preference of how the world should be. You did not create this experience. You are living in it. You are not a god incarnate. You're a human with a time limit, just like the rest of us, just like any living creature on this planet. And did I come to know this instantaneously? No. People do change. We don't like change, but people do change. Did I grow up from the womb and knew I would be here doing this study, this science right here, right now? Not at all. Didn't even know this existed until a couple years ago. That's like asking a homeless person on the street if they, when they were 5 years old, if they wanted to be a homeless person. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Things change. People change. You don't have control over that. Life progresses. Some people love the life that they're living now. They didn't know they were going to live this life or it was going to be the way that it was going to be when they were 2 years old, when they were 3 years old. They still thought they were going to be living with their mommies and their daddies. You change, you progress, life goes on. People need to understand that. You didn't create your experience. You are not the master of your experience. You're not a God incarnate. You can't be. You did not create your own reality. You did not create yourself. You are not the master of your own thoughts. You are living an experience. This world, this universe around you was here before you even got here. You are living an experience. You were given a certain amount of time to live. And when that time is gone, you're gone. You're gone. The only thing that I can tell you for a fact is this. The Creator gave us a tool to measure this. The Creator gave us a way to measure and to see exactly what are we going to get in this lifetime. Who are we going to like? who we're going to dislike, everything that's going to happen. Everything is going to happen. And when you just come to understand and have an appreciation for the life that you live and the people that are in your life and the events that happen, they were destined to happen. I've come to see this now. I've come to learn this now. People change. I didn't know I would be here just a couple months ago. I didn't know that. Yet when I come to learn what I'm learning now, doing the science that I come to now, the person who's teaching me literally told me, it was in your chart, you're gonna do this. He didn't know a single thing about me. He literally read what God wrote for my life and told me what it said. We have the power to do this. We're not fortune tellers. This is a science. This is math. This is observation. This is data. And people don't understand we are moving in this direction. We are moving out of an age of belief. Knowledge is now what is in power. The more you know, the more ability you have. The more knowledge in your head, the more access to reality that you have. We are not in an age of belief anymore. It's been gone. It's going to be on the steady decline, steady dying. But again, it does not matter what we prefer as humans. It is what it is. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. We got to stop thinking of life in these terms. You just got to stop. Come to accept and appreciate. Come to appreciate it. And if you are one of the few out of the millions, 95% of the population who will never get this because they weren't meant to get this, they weren't meant to hear this. If you are of the few who truly know you can achieve higher and are working to achieve higher, you got to understand the reason why certain events happen in your life is because you cannot get to the position you know you will achieve and have everything go your way. If you did not have discomfort in your life, you would never try to achieve anything greater than what you had. If everything truly went your way, why would you try to achieve more? If you were truly content with the world around you, why are you trying to change? It is the pain, it is the fear, it is the loss that creates the great ones. It is the easiness, it is the relaxation, it is the comfort that makes a average person. It's just how it works. You cannot have this experience. You cannot be alive and not experience these things. And no matter how bad humans want to change this, it's been this way since the dawn of creation, since the beginning of time. Eons, millennia, billions of years, trillions of years, hasn't changed. Not one bit. Not one bit. We give ourselves too much power. But again, we are in an age, we are in a lifetime now where people are coming to know. We're being put in situations to know. Can we do this? Can we do that? We're not just simply believing anymore. People are not just listening to what one person's saying, following it. We're trying things out. It's not a sin to try things out, to test the water, to be like, maybe I should be with these people, maybe I shouldn't be. Whatever you are destined to do, whatever you are destined to accomplish, whatever you are destined to find, you will go to that. If you are destined to meet a certain person for this period of time, you will not be with that person longer than that period of time. Whether you lose them, whether there's a fallout, whether they have to relocate for whatever reason. Some people will be in your life your entire life. Some people you only have for a certain period of time, then they will leave you. You can't not sit here and be mad. Think about what if. These are all things that come from a limited perspective of knowledge, a limited understanding of the world, the transit, the astrology around us. comes from a limited understanding. It does not matter how hard you train, how much you believe, how many people you get to back you. You will not get more money than you are allotted in this lifetime. You will not get more fame. You will not get more friends. You will not have less people. You will not have less things in this lifetime. If you're allotted to live this long, you will only live this long. You cannot get any higher than that. You cannot get any lower than that. This is the way that this universe, the world, God has designed it. And it's a fact. It's not a belief of mine. I didn't invent this. We've been knew this since ancient days. Since ancient times. We've been knew this. We've been knew this. We're just living in an age and period of now where we have quote unquote forgotten. It's impossible for anybody to truly say they are above anything. It's impossible. No, you're not. You cannot surpass anything in life that you are destined to do. You cannot overcome what has been written for you to do. You do not control your own breathing. If you were to hold your breath, you would pass out. And while you are unconscious, your body will still continue to breathe. You do not have full control over your own body. You do not tell your mind to regrow your cells if you get a cut on your arm. If your blood starts dripping on your arm, your body will clot by itself. Even if you have a blood deficiency and your body cannot naturally clot and form blood clots to stop the bleeding, that's in your chart. That's in your chart. All that is in your chart. Again, I am nowhere near the level yet where I can fully read this. But from what I have been learning from my teacher, from my mentor, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. You cannot surpass a transit in your life because this transit defines you. There's no such thing as you are being controlled by another force, somebody else, or a being or something is controlling you. Everything happens in concurrence. Everything, every motion, every atom in this universe is moving at the exact same time. Certain atoms do this, certain atoms do that. When some atoms interact with other atoms, certain effects happen. Certain light particles are hitting my shirt to make it blue, other light particles are hitting the door to make it white. You do not control these things. You did not create your experience. You are not in control of your experience. You are in your experience right now. You are living out your experience. You did not make your experience. We live in a world where the culture, as of currently today, is all about you are in complete control of your life and reality. No, you're not. This is just truth. No, you're not. You're just not. And we know this. We cannot close our eyes and imagine we're on another planet. We cannot close our eyes and just start flying. We cannot work out every day and then be able to jump to the moon. We cannot split a mountain in half. We can write as many shows as we want, make as many illustrations as we want. That makes us believe that we can, that will inspire us that we can. All of that is given indication in the birth chart. That is all the indication of the sign of Pisces. Belief, faith, inspiration. We are in the age of Aquarius, knowledge. We come to know now. We can't do that. We're coming to know now. We cannot do that. That's not how life works. That's not how the experience plays out. And it will be painful for some people, it will be painful for others. When, for example, a beneficial day may come to you that may be under a Jupiter. Jupiter is victory, winning, laughing. That may be a beneficial day. Saturn is pain. Saturn is restriction. Saturn is quitting. Saturn is cold, hard. People going through Saturn squares in their life. A Saturn square comes every 7 years. 7, 14, 21, 28. These are moments in your life where God literally says, you need to become more responsible. You're going to have certain things taken away from you. You're going to have to toughen up, harden up. You can't get past it. You can't get past it. You cannot ascend your Saturn square. Saturn does not only point to pain and heartache. Saturn is construction. Saturn is discipline. Saturn can mean hundreds of things. But you are not in control of which one of those hundreds of things are going to happen to you. Whatever transit is happening in your life, whatever conjunction, whatever aspect you're having to another planet in the sky, will determine if you're going to have a good Saturn or a bad Saturn. Whether this is going to be a day where you build a house, or this is going to be a day where you're going to face the pain of a heartbreak, the pain of loss, the pain of understanding you can't do something anymore. They say, the ancients used to say, you can tell the level of a society. If most people, by the time they go into a Saturn square, have a bad experience, you're in an underdeveloped society. If you go into a society and majority of people, when they go into a Saturn square, have a disciplined moment, have a constructive moment, then you're in an advanced society. We are not in an advanced society at all at this moment in time. We are in a society where there is a lack of knowledge because we just came out of the age of belief, Pisces, where we didn't necessarily need to know. We just needed to have faith in what a church, we needed to have faith in what a government, we needed to have faith in what an empire was telling us. We are now in an age where we have come to, and we now have to know. We're being put in situations as an entire society, as an entire generation, to know this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I can't do, this is what is going to happen, this is not going to happen. We're in the age of Aquarius now. Knowledge, you must come to know. You cannot stop learning. There's a limit to how much you will know. There's a limit to what you will be able to come to know in your lifetime. But again, you must continue your search for knowledge. You must continue your search for what you know to be true. Do not assume anything. Do not believe anything. It will do you wrong in the end, because we're not in that age anymore. It does not matter if you are a Pisces or not. It's not that simple. Human nature is not that simple. Understanding the universe as a whole is not that simple. You will never be done learning until you are done. You will never be done learning until your life has truly ended. Keep on seeking, keep on going, keep on learning. Those who are disciplined, those who show balance, those who can come to have a higher understanding, those who can come to empathize, are people, I would say in general, are going to have a harder experience starting off, because we are living in a world now where following cultural norms, listening to society. Aquarius is also the sign of friendship and having friends. So if you are a person all about friends or doing what culture is going to tell you to do, again, that is the majority of this culture. This is the age that we're living in. But you're going to have a average life if you're a person who's already have limited friends, or you are an oddity, you are the odd one out, you are a person who stands out amongst people. The people who stand out the most are the ones who tend to be the most successful. There is no good, there is no bad. It is what it is. Whatever God has allowed you in this life to become and to have, you will have it. I only advocate for everybody to bare minimum find a person who is skilled or well trained, to tell them in advance, what problems am I going through? How long will I be going through said problems? What benefits will come into my lifetime? And how will I go about gaining in these benefits before my allotted time slot to leave comes about? But this has been Chris is here, 100 Agency. Catch you on the next one.